Infection control is one of the biggest challenges facing the healthcare industry today. Educating healthcare professionals in best care practices is essential to combating the spread of costly, deadly, and ultimately preventable infections. Introducing Stopping the Spread, practical infection control solutions you can use today. This innovative video kit from the Duke Infection Control Outreach Network is designed with a busy healthcare worker in mind. It features short, relevant video modules packed with practical tips and solutions that can be used immediately. The Stopping the Spread video kit includes 6 realistic modules. Make hand hygiene a habit. Who do gloves really protect? Confronting non-compliance. Poor excuses for poor hand hygiene. Infection control, a mother's perspective, and what is contact isolation. These 5 modules are to be watched by all healthcare staff. This module, What is Contact Isolation, is designed to inform the family of patients who've been placed into contact isolation about how they can help keep their loved ones safe. Let's take a brief tour of the video kit so you can see how these effective educational modules can save lives, reduce liability, and even be incorporated into your credentialing process for healthcare workers. Make hand hygiene a habit shows how easy it is to unknowingly spread infection through common interactions. Learn how easy it can be to incorporate proper hand hygiene into every patient visit. Learn how you can make infection control a habit.
Even if the nurse didn't make contact with this patient, the risk of transmission is still great. Simply touching something near the patient may result in their unwanted acquisition of the bacterium. Quick question: how much additional time is required for each patient visit if you wash your hands before interacting with the patient and before exiting the room? The correct answer is A, 0 seconds. You can begin speaking to the patient while you disinfect your hands.
Hello, David. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, a little better than I was yesterday, but I still have a lot of stomach pain.
And how about your bowel movements?
It's still pretty frequent. You know, I just go to the bathroom every 20 minutes or so.
You can do the same as you prepare to leave the room.
Just hang in there, David. A nurse will be right in to give you something to help alleviate the pain.
Who do gloves really protect illustrates a scenario that has become all too common in hospitals today.
Mrs. Collins has developed a temperature of 38. I'm suctioning lots of foul sputum from her endotracheal tube, and her sats have been dropping.
And she was doing so well. Let's get a chest x-ray today.
Okay.
It's lobar pneumonia.
Yeah. Let's get her started on antibiotics. She was just in here for a routine procedure. I thought she'd be out of the unit by now. It appears that Mrs. Collins developed a complicated ventilator-related chest infection due to a drug-resistant germ.
But how could this have happened to Mrs. Collins? Let's take a quick look back. First, Nurse Williams failed to replace the glove she wore while treating a previous patient. Next, she cross-contaminated everything she touched with her previous patient's bacteria, including Mrs. Collins and Nurse Miller. Then, already contaminated with foreign bacteria, Nurse Miller manipulated the ventilator keypad, causing the bacteria to swarm the surface of the machine.
This module includes practical advice for diplomatically and effectively confronting non-compliance. These realistic and useful tactics can be implemented immediately.
Mr. Davis, I'm going to examine your wound and see if the infection's still there, and after that, my exam will be all done.
What size gloves can I get for you, doctor?
A medium will be fine.
The nurse effectively corrected the situation in a friendly fashion. By not accusing the doctor of unsanitary practice in front of the patient, she kept both the patient and the doctor at ease and may have prevented the spread of infection.
By shedding light on the poor excuses used to avoid best care practices regarding hand hygiene, you can encourage staff to curb their own bad behavior.
Prior to examining a patient, 3 residents await the arrival of the attending physician.
Good afternoon, Dr. Zimmer. You remember our residents for this term, Andrew and David?
Sure do. Which patient are we working with today?
This is Mrs. Reed. She had the bowel CA and we did the Hartman's on her.
Yes, I remember. This shouldn't take long. I shouldn't even have to touch her.
Although the attending physician declined, the residents have washed their hands and put on gloves.
Hello, Mrs. Reed. How are you feeling?
My stomach's sore and I'm feeling pretty sick.
Have you had a temperature?
I'm really not sure.
T-max was 102 yesterday.
Okay, let's take a look and see what's causing this pain. Tell me if this hurts at all, Mrs. Reed.
Ooh, that's pretty bad there.
Stop. Let me take a look at this. In order to properly examine a post-surgical abdomen, you need to position the patient appropriately. Then palpate away from the wound.
This doctor's excuse was poor because it didn't hold true. Regardless of whether or not you expect to touch a patient, prepare yourself as if you might. A lackadaisical approach will damage your reputation with peers and patients.
This module serves as a reminder to all healthcare workers of the profound impact our actions have on the lives of others.
Until they told us that his C1 through C4 spine had been damaged irreversibly.
In 6 short days, Josh went from being a patient enjoying a successful recovery to a ventilator-dependent quadriplegic, all because of a healthcare-acquired infection. You had to make the decision to follow Josh's wishes and take him off the ventilator.
Yeah, we did. The chaplain was waiting for us. She had met with the surgeon, this doctor, and they had all met with Josh and had explained exactly what had happened to him and what that meant in real life, and asked what his wishes were, the best way that they could, since he was completely paralyzed.
Lastly, the What Is Contact Isolation module is designed to inform family members of the precautionary measures that must be taken while their loved one remains in contact isolation. With this module, you can easily standardize the message given to visitors without further burdening your busy nursing staff.
If it has been determined that your family member's disease could be transmitted through inhalation, all staff and visitors will be required to wear fitted masks into the room. Your family member will remain in contact isolation while their infection is being treated. Anytime you visit, it's important to remember all of the precautionary measures discussed. Always put on a protective gown prior to entering the room. Always perform proper hand hygiene by washing with soap and water or the alcohol sanitizer. And don't forget to wear gloves every time you visit a contact isolation room. Taking proper precaution will keep your family member and other patients safer. You can help in preventing the spread of infectious disease.
The Stopping the Spread video kit contains all 6 modules. Each module ranges from 3 to 6 minutes in length and can be watched in any order so as to fit the demanding schedule of healthcare professionals. Because you gain unlimited access to all 6 modules with your purchase, you can incorporate the video kit into a wide variety of educational situations. Make Stopping the Spread part of your new employee orientation or as part of your continuing education for current employees. We also suggest using it as part of your hospital-wide hand hygiene campaigns. It's really up to you. All your employees need is a computer with an internet connection in order to watch. Simply visit dicon.mc.duke.edu to learn more about this innovative educational series. These programs were made possible through an unrestricted educational grant from the AstraZeneca Corporation.